After a lot of trouble, we finally got our hands on Samsung's Galaxy Note 8 2 days before the Indian launch. In today's video, let's quickly unbox Samsung's latest phablet and take a quick look. Opening up the box, we've got the Note 8 itself. Though it's supposed to be similar to the S8 Plus, it's got a kind of different feel in hand. Peeling the plastic off, let's set this aside for the time being. We then have a promotional booklet, a SIM ejector tool, the reading material. Samsung's included a clear case this time around, fits snug, will help avoid minor scratches. Getting the S Pen out feels nice and easy. We then have an adaptive fast charger, a Type-C OTG adapter, a micro USB to Type-C converter, a pair of AKG earphones, replaceable tips for the S Pen, a USB Type-C cable, and finally, replaceable ear tips for the AKG earphones. Just like with the Galaxy S8, the Galaxy Note 8 also retains the 3.5mm headphone jack at the bottom. Here, you can also find the USB Type-C port, primary microphone, speaker, and the S Pen. The power button is located to the right. Up top, we've got a noise-cancelling microphone and a hybrid tray. So you can add either two SIMs or a SIM and a micro SD card here. The volume rockers and a dedicated Bixby key are located to the left. Oh yeah, the Bixby key returns. To the front, on top, we've got the notification LED, sensors, earpiece, an 8-megapixel front-facing camera, and the iris scanner. Now that's followed by a 6.3-inch Super AMOLED display. This is what Samsung calls the Infinity display due to the excellent screen-to-body ratio. The aspect ratio, just like with the S8 Plus, remains at 18.5:9. It's quite narrow. The resolution also remains the same, Quad HD Plus, 1440 by 2960 pixels, meaning a pixel density of about 520 pixels per inch. So it's extremely sharp, the colors punchy, viewing angles excellent, the display is fantastic. The Note 8 happens to be the first Note from Samsung that uses on-screen keys, and as expected, the home key has Force Touch enabled and is built into the display, so you can press it anytime. That also means the fingerprint scanner remains to the back. Given that the Note 8 is taller than the S8 Plus, it's a little higher, so I guess I'm gonna find it even more awkward this time around and end up resorting to using the iris scanner a lot more, like I did in my time with the S8 Plus. On a more positive note, the heart rate sensor is now located in between the cameras and the fingerprint scanner, so that should reduce the amount of smudges the lens picks up. Talking about the cameras, yeah, you heard me right, the Galaxy Note 8 sports two 12-megapixel cameras to the back. The same 12-megapixel f1.7 dual-pixel autofocus camera that we all loved and adored from the S8 and S8 Plus returns, and this time it also brings with it a secondary 12-megapixel camera with an f2.4 aperture. Samsung happens to be the first manufacturer to provide optical image stabilization for both cameras. It is also worth mentioning that both the back and front are covered by Corning's Gorilla Glass 5 for protection. So to give you guys some perspective, here's the Note 8 side by side with the S8 Plus. Thanks to the larger display, it is a tad taller, wider, and even thicker. The thickness can be attributed to the S Pen and dual camera modules that, by the way, do not protrude. That said, the battery capacity has gone down this time around. The Note 8 sports a 3300 mAh battery. Barring that, underneath, the Note 8 retains the same impressive specs as the S8 Plus. This phone also happens to be powered by the 10nm Exynos 8895 chip with its custom cores clocked all the way up to 2.3 GHz. Mali G71 MP20 handles GPU duties, and this time Samsung's gone with 6 gigs of RAM across all storage variants. This happens to be the 64GB variant, by the way. It's also worth mentioning that there is a Snapdragon 835 chip touring Note 8 as well. This phone currently runs on Android Nougat with Samsung Experience 8.1 on top and should be upgraded to Oreo soon. While most of the software features are familiar to anyone who's used or even seen S8 or S8 Plus coverage, the Note 8 has some nifty tricks up its sleeve. With the S Pen, we now get Live Translate from the Air commands and a live message feature. Live Message lets you create and send GIFs the way you would write them. Then there's Screen Off Memo that can be pinned to the always on display. While these seem quite a bit like novelty functions, the biggest change is with the camera software. Here's where the Note 8 really had me impressed. Like I've said earlier, I've not really been excited for the Note this year, but I couldn't help but be impressed with these cameras. The dynamic range is excellent as always with both cameras now. The telephoto option lets you zoom in 2x without loss of quality. The dynamic range of even the selfie camera was quite good. And looking at these images on the infinity display does bring a bit of a wow factor. Now the live focus option lets you see how the portrait mode images turn out. In my time, I've noticed the final images are actually much better than what the viewfinder shows. You can also adjust the amount of blur even after you've shot the image, or if you have dual capture turned on, you can just check out the full image shot with the primary camera too. That's quite an interesting addition right there. Well, I usually don't talk about video quality in an unboxing, it is an unboxing after all. I couldn't help but test out video. And it was amazing, especially when you zoom in and then notice the OIS help keep the image stable. This is something that's never been done in the past. With most phones, video with a secondary camera is a big no-no unless you are using a gimbal. Samsung's got me really excited for these cameras. I can't wait to test them out in more detail. So with that, let's talk price. Here's where the excitement factor comes back down to earth. The Note 8 is priced at around $930, almost 30% over the S8 in the United States, which leads us to expect the Indian pricing to be around the 75,000 rupee mark. We'll know more in a couple of days. So anyway guys, that's it for this quick unboxing. If you hated this video, vote it down, but if you did like it, give it a big huge thumbs up. I really worked hard on this one guys, so let me know if you did find it worth your time. And subscribe if you haven't yet. If you've already subscribed, hit that bell icon to make sure you get notified each time a new video goes live here on C4eTech. If anyone, friends or family are interested in the Note 8, please do share this video with them. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this here's Ash. You've been watching C4eTech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.